Have you ever been chased out of your own outdoor living space by bugs? I think it's happened to all of us. And there are 6 particular bugs that seem to be the biggest pest. The one that we can all attest to are mosquitoes. So what do? Well, the options that we had before was smacking yourself, spraying a chemical on ourselves, our kids, our pets, having a bug zapper, which was kind of disgusting and gross, or simply being chased indoors. A gentleman by the name of Juan created the very first Dynatrap. I've got one of the most affordable Dynatraps sitting in front of me right now. I do want to be honest and tell you that this is the one that was brought to us as brand new last summer, and now I've got a clearance sale price for you. If you own a Dynatrap, I would love to talk to you, and I'll tell you why. As a host of the program, I have tremendous faith in my vendors. As a consumer, I've always been a doubting Thomas. I've always been the guy who goes, yeah, really? Huh? I live on a horse farm. We raise sheep. We've got horses. I have my miniature donkeys. And flies and mosquitoes were a problem for us. I couldn't get out into my side yard where we have our patio in the late evening hours because we were just infested. So I tried one and was very quickly amazed. These are the models that I have on my property right now. I've got a 1 acre size that we have in the barnyard, and I've got the 1/2 acre side where our patio and our pool area is, and we just don't think about mosquitoes anymore. I would love to talk to those of you who are also doubting Thomases who picked it up, and I'd love to hear your story. Now, I will say this, in the 1/2 acre size, I'm now limited to the green. In the 1 acre size, I have the green available to me, and then I also have the stone. Here's how they work and why they work. There are 6 different bugs that were clinically tested with this unit to see if it would trap them, and the results came back resoundingly yes. I'll show you those 6 bugs in just a bit. Right now, I just want to talk about mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are drawn to human beings and to our pets because we're warm-blooded. The female mosquito bites us and draws our blood because she's looking for a protein in our blood that allows her to lay eggs. If she doesn't bite us, she can't lay eggs. And Mother Nature ingrained in her tiny little mosquito head that that's what she's here to do. The life cycle of a mosquito is actually very, very short. It's about 2 to 4 weeks. But in that period of time, she can lay eggs 3 separate occasions of about 200 eggs per time. That's 600 baby mosquitoes from one mommy. That's how we get just inundated with mosquitoes in our properties. It draws the mosquito with their own natural instincts. As human beings, every time we exhale, we breathe out carbon dioxide. So does a Dynatrap. In fact, it does it in much bigger numbers than what you or I could do, or you and I, our family, and our pets combined. Mosquitoes are also drawn to body heat. Well, this light that you see creates heat. It also is a very specific UV light that draws the attention of mosquitoes from up to 300 feet away. Then there's a powerful fan in this that's creating a suction. So when the mosquitoes are drawn into it by smelling the carbon dioxide or seeing the light or feeling the heat, and then they get sucked into this larger container and then they expire. And I've got to tell you, it works. This container is about 50% bigger than the previous year model, and you'll be amazed at what you capture. Your yard is your yard. Mosquitoes, when they chase us back indoors, they're not doing us any favors at all. But there's 5 other bugs that they also capture. I want to go off and say hello. Oh, are we going to show it? Yeah, let me show the bugs. These are laboratory tests, independent laboratory tests that prove that it will catch mosquitoes, flies, wasps and hornets, which are just flying jerks, stink bugs, and even moths. Now, by the way, I am a huge supporter, proponent of pollinators. Those flying insects that take pollen from one plant and help to pollinate another. None of those 6 bugs are pollinators. Wasps and hornets don't do anything to help us at all. Mosquitoes don't either. A Dynatrap truly works. Don't take my word for it. Let's go out to the phone lines. Deborah is phoning in from South Carolina. Deborah, how are you this morning? How you doing?
Doing really well, and mosquito-free almost.
Mosquito-free, that's nice. Hopefully you're staying at home and staying safe.
Yes, we are.
Good.
This product has been a lifesaver. Here in South, Charleston is considered low country.
Right.
And the mosquitoes are practically the state bird. And you can't, some days you really can't even go out in your yard.
Yep.
Well, when you first brought this, we purchased it, and from maybe the 3rd day on, we could go out in the backyard, which we had never been able to do since we moved here.
Yeah, it's miraculous how well this thing works, doesn't it?
It's absolutely. If you have any kind of flying waspy mosquito issue, this is the way to go, truly.
And Deborah, when it gets warm out, pardon me, it's probably warm enough in your backyard right now. Do you have your Dynatrap turned on and just leave it on?
It's been on, I'd say, for the last 3 weeks, although it's very chilly today, but oh yeah, we leave it on. Once you get to March, it stays on until November.
Yep. And the advice is, and this is for anywhere in the country, once 50 degrees is the magic number for mosquitoes. Once it hits 50 degrees, they're breeding. And you want to get to them early. When you turn this on, leave it turned on. It's got a 10-foot cord on it. You can put an extension cord on it if you need to, but let it run 24 hours a day, because mosquitoes don't take any time off. They don't take lunch breaks. The operational cost on the big one is less than 6 cents a day, and on the little guy, it's less than 2 cents a day to operate. And the bulbs that you've got will easily last you for the entire summer. And then we give you an extra bulb for a second summer's worth. So Deborah, it kind of gave you back your yard, didn't it?
It certainly did. The weather here is beautiful. I mean, it gets very humid in the summer, but it's beautiful. And in the evenings when you'd like to sit outside, it was almost impossible. Now we can actually sit out on our patio and relax and, maybe do a fire or something, and you don't have to worry about the mosquitoes at all.
Have you had neighbors who have commented on it, wondering why you don't have bugs and everybody else does?
Yes, the two families behind us. And I said, we have a Dynatrap. And they said, a what? I said, a Dynatrap. Go to QVC. I buy everything there.
Deborah, can I tell a story real quick?
Sure.
Where I live in Pennsylvania, we kind of border up to a large Amish community, and we have an ag center, which is kind of like the local hangout for farmers like myself, and it's like the 1930s. You go and you have 2 old guys sitting there telling stories and playing checkers. That's the type of place it is. It's wonderful. So I'm spending time at this ag center, and we were talking about flies, and horse flies in particular. If you've ever been bitten by a horse fly, it'll draw blood and give you a welt.
Very nasty.
And I was saying, I don't worry about horse flies anymore. And one of my friends, Mitch, goes, how do you not have horse flies when you live on a horse farm? And I started to explain the Dynatrap. And the word got out, and I started having Amish farmers driving to my home with their horse and buggies to see my horsefly robot, is what they were calling it. And I brag about this thing at our place, because when you have horses, I used to have to put a mask on my horses that are mesh so that they wouldn't get in their eyes and just torture the horses. Now I don't do that at all. I just plug the thing in, and you want to plug it so it's about 30 feet away from where you want to be. because you want to draw the mosquitoes and the flies there instead of towards you. But it gives you back your living space. You're in the Carolinas. Anybody who's ever been to the Outer Banks knows about flies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad you're using it, and you'll get many, many more years of service out of yours. You plug it in, and then you don't worry about it again.
We don't even think about it.
Yeah.
You can just go out in the yard, and just relax and enjoy yourself. I can do yard work, and I don't have to worry about being, chewed up.
Yeah, and you said
it's a wonderful thing.
Going out, for me, I love a bonfire. I love it. And I don't get to do it as much as maybe I'd like to, but now that people are kind of staying at home, I think their outdoor space is probably even more valuable than maybe it has been in the past, because we've been so busy with other things. This is a way of getting that yard back. Deborah, I'm happy for you. I really appreciate you giving me a phone call and helping other people too.
Oh, you're very welcome. And it's very true what you said. I've been home now a week, and if I didn't have the yard, the access to the yard, I think I'd be, going a little, loony.
Yeah, yep, I understand. But stay home, stay safe, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you so much for the great product.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
There's two sizes. Here's the acre size, half acre size. And again, you want to plug it in and just let it run. Now, in this particular configuration, they also included, pardon me, allergies, something called a Tracta. And what it is it supercharges your Dynatrap. And you put it in the bottom, and it's a scent that you and I won't notice, but the mosquito can't ignore it. And the whole idea here, again, is to get rid of those pests that are vying for our backyards against our will. Mosquitoes are a classic example, but you're not alone on this. Now, these 6 bugs, they independently laboratory tested the Dynatrap with proven results, so that we can say it will catch mosquitoes, it will catch flies. The next 2, wasp and hornets. Now, stink bugs, they don't hurt anybody, but they're just the dumbest flying creature. They seem to have no sense of direction, and they just smack into you. It also captures moths. The trapping portion, this container, is 50% bigger than the earlier models. It's simple to clean. It does not zap the bugs. It works again on a very simple process. Mosquitoes need a protein in blood from a warm animal, a warm-blooded animal, for the female mosquito to be able to lay her eggs. Without the protein, she can't lay eggs. So they are drawn by carbon dioxide, which is what we exhale, by heat, and by also, in this case, UV light. So those are actual mosquitoes that you see that are being drawn in, and then that powerful fan becomes suction and sucks them in and traps them, where they basically dehydrate and expire. And you're doing it for just pennies a day. It's 2 cents a day, a little less for the half acre, and less than 10 cents for the 1 acre. We're going to go back to our phone lines. Katie is phoning me from my home state. Katie, what part of Indiana do you live in?
Indianapolis.
I know it well. I'm a North Central graduate, by the way.
Southport here.
Southport. That's a fellow Hoosier. I know exactly where you're talking. We used to compete against each other in football, and you guys usually beat us.
Absolutely.
I
rode around in a cage in a Panther suit for homecoming one year.
That's beautiful. North Central Panthers. Katie, so
yes,
do you have a Dynatrap?
We have several.
Okay. Why do you have several?
And
Let me start with that. Why do you have several of them?
Well, we have 4 houses in a row on a farm.
Okay. All right.
And it's a small grain farm now. We don't have farm animals except chickens and goats, but
okay.
It just has made such a difference in being able to be outside. We don't put ours up until usually the first part of April, because it's not really warm enough yet.
Yeah, 50 degrees
we
is
leave
the
ours
cutoff.
up all season